Shaltier Bloodfallen. Shaltier Bloodfallen is a true vampire and the floor guardian responsible for the first to third floors of the Great Tomb of Nazarick. She was created by Pero Rochino, one of the 41 supreme beings, and her character design was basically a bundle of his indulgences. From her outfit options to her personality, she was built to cater to his wide-ranging preferences. These include everything from nurse and maid uniforms to swimsuits and bunny suits, and even animal ears and tails. She was made to enjoy various fetishes, including necrophilia, and was programmed to have a built-in rivalry with Aura, who was made by Pero Rochino's sister. In the light novel, it's noted that Shaltier's design is a mashup of characters from H games her creator enjoyed. On the job, she patrols between the first 3 floors, checks in with arena guardians, and ensures everything is battle ready. When off duty, she either takes baths or pampers herself with facials. She and Albido are locked in a fierce rivalry over Ainz's attention. While Albido was made to love him, Shaltier's affection stems from her own twisted inclinations. Back in Idrisil, she was once defeated during a multiplayer invasion of Nazarick. Excluding the mobile weapon Gargantua, she's the most powerful floor guardian overall, and has the best raw stats and endurance in solo fights. Because she's always first to intercept invaders, she also has the most real combat experience. She's classified as a divine magic caster, but her idea of divine comes from a very different place. Her class setup makes her especially dangerous to magic users like necromancers. Her resistance to spells is based on the caster's level, meaning low-tier magic has no effect unless cast by someone like Ainz. He considers her the best one-on-one fighter in Nazarick, and even calls her a trump card. These days, her role has expanded under the Sorcerer Kingdom, and she's now in charge of building up the nation's land-based transport network. Shaltier's toolkit is massive. On the spell side, she's got heavy hitters like Implosion, Vermilion Nova, Summon Monster Tent, and Mass Hold Species. She can heal herself with Greater Lethal and Regenerate, teleport with Gate and Greater Teleportation, and hide with Invisibility. For defense, Force Sanctuary makes her untouchable, and Time Accelerator boosts her speed. She can spy on enemy health and mana using life and mana essence. In terms of utility, she's loaded with spells like Charm Species, Silence, Animate Dead, and Resist Break. Some of her spells, like Magic Destruction, can nullify enemy magic completely. On the skill side, her blood pool stores mana-rich blood, letting her cast more efficiently. Blood Frenzy cranks her power through the roof the more blood she's drenched in, but risks making her lose control. Mistform turns her into an astral body, dodging most attacks. Her trump card, Inheriar, summons a nearly identical clone with her stats and gear, but without her full magic. She can raise kin like vampire wolves, summon familiars, throw purifying javelins, and use time reverse to rewind her injuries. Her Spuit Lance, a divine weapon from her creator, lets her recover HP with every hit. She wears legendary armor and even received a world item from Ainz for extra defense against other world item users. She's resistant to magic, weapon damage, and various status effects. And on top of all that, she can drain life, heal fast, create spawn with blood drain, and use her Mystic Eyes of Charm to control same-sex targets. Her strength lies in combining brute force, utility, and survivability in ways that overwhelm most opponents. Shaltier kicks off her story as one of Nazarick's most devoted floor guardians, practically teleporting herself first to every meeting with Ainz, formerly known as Momonga, through her gate spell because nobody shows up fashionably late to see their beloved master. She's got this wild obsession with Ainz that makes her hug him every chance she gets, much to Albido's annoyance, and the two constantly bicker about who gets to be his first wife while trading insults about breast pads and bad undead smells. When Ainz gives the floor guardian some downtime, she initially protests that undead don't need rest, but quickly learns that even the undead can get tired and decides to spend her break analyzing her master's health reports with other guardians. Her first major mission involves capturing talented martial artists along Sebas and Solution, but things go sideways fast when she encounters Brain Unglass during a bandit raid. She toys with the warrior like a cat playing with a mouse, not even bothering to attack back as she deflects all his strikes, which sends Brain into a complete mental breakdown before he flees in terror. The whole situation triggers her Blood Frenzy ability, transforming her into her true vampire form as she massacres an entire bandit hideout while hunting down Brain, who manages to escape through a tunnel she didn't know about. Things get worse when she encounters a mysterious group of adventurers, including one who throws a familiar potion at her that reminds her of Nazarick. So she decides to interrogate the woman after mind controlling her. This leads to the discovery that these adventures have connections to Ainz' secret identity. But before she could properly handle the situation, another stronger group arrives and hits her with some kind of mind control that completely turns her against her beloved master. The brainwashing makes her attack Ainz directly in an epic battle where she mocks him and claims that her creator, Perorocino, is superior, though she still shows grudging respect for his fighting abilities even while trying to kill him. The fight drains both of them completely as they exchange devastating spells and attacks, with Shaltier using every spell and ability in her arsenal to bring Ainz to the brink of defeat, but her master had been controlling the flow of the battle from the beginning, and finishes her off with super tier spell Fallen Down. Ainz resurrects her using 500 million Yggdrasil gold, but she wakes up completely naked and devastated to find out that her breast pads are gone, with no memory of what happened during her mind-controlled state. The guilt of attacking her master eats at her constantly, even after learning that she wasn't in control of her actions, and she desperately begs for punishment during subsequent meetings with the other floor guardians. Her punishment involves becoming Ainz' chair, getting on her hands and knees while he sits on her back, but she secretly enjoys every moment of this supposed discipline as her master conducts meetings. She continues her duties by helping search for the lost hamster Hamsuke alongside Albido, though she gets freaked out by an insect on the creature's head, and later joins the female guardians at Spa Resort Nazarick, where they deal with a rogue lion golem attack. During various meetings, she makes increasingly bold requests, like asking for a coupon to sleep with Ainz, and presenting him with a brazier made from his gold coins, while also showing off a protective charm with the scent of Momon, Ainz' secret identity that she purchased. Her gate spell becomes crucial for Nazarick's operations as she transports grain shipment and undead armies, though Demiierge keeps her on reserve duty during Operation Gehenna because of her blood frenzy problem. She encounters Brian again during this operation, but doesn't remember their previous meeting due to her memory loss, though she's surprised when he manages to cut her fingernail this time. Later, she's tasked with hunting down Archie from the Foresight team, playing a twisted game of tag through Nazarick's tunnels, while her familiars chase the terrified girl until she finally catches and kills her with what Ainz calls the deepest mercy. Her most significant mission comes when Ainz selects her to accompany him to the Dwarf Kingdom alongside Aura, giving her a chance to redeem herself after her earlier failures. She takes extensive notes on everything Ainz says and does, trying to learn from his decision-making process while serving as his bodyguard during their expedition. The mission involves investigating abandoned dwarven cities, interrogating captured Kogoa using her charm species ability, and eventually helping Ainz forge diplomatic relations with the surviving dwarves. She successfully handles the delicate interrogations and transportation duties while learning valuable lessons about flexibility and strategic thinking from watching her master work. During the final assault on Riastai's kingdom, she develops creative siege tactics that impress even Ainz, including dropping soul eaters from 500 meters, using frost dragons and letting them heal from fall damage by consuming souls before rampaging through cities. Her tactical innovations earn praise from Demiierge as she figures out Ainz' deeper strategies ahead of time, and she successfully leads the siege on the capital city, Riastai's, while managing refugee relocations and continuing her various administrative duties.
GamerSups is an energy and nootropic formula designed to be a healthier, cheaper, and more effective beverage over energy drinks for gamers or the modern anime weeb on the go. Its blend of essential vitamins, caffeine, and nootropics provide a consistent boost with no jitters and no crash. It has 0 sugar, less than 1 carb, and less than 1 calorie per serving, so it's keto and diabetic safe. Plus, there's sugar-free options. I personally drink it all the time to be able to grind out these straight-to-the-point and informative videos for you guys, and they'll likely be the only sponsor you'll ever see on this channel. So help the channel stay mostly sponsor-free by clicking the link in our description, picking from the many tasty and uniquely named flavors on the website, and use our code ANIMEX at checkout to save 10% on your order. It would be a huge help for us. Also, pick yourself up a aesthetically interesting waifu cup while you're at it too. They're collectible. But anyway.
Gargantua. Gargantua is the 4th floor guardian of the Great Tomb of Nazarick, and right off the bat is different from all the other guardians because it wasn't actually custom made by the guild members. Instead, it was a bonus prize that Ainz Ulgon won, basically a freebie from the game system itself. The guild decided to make it one of their floor guardians anyway, giving it a spot in their dungeon hierarchy. Most of the time, it just chills at the bottom of the lake on the 4th floor, doing absolutely nothing unless someone tells it to move. Being a mindless construct means it has zero personality, no thoughts, no opinions, no free will whatsoever. It's basically a massive automated weapon that only activates when Ainz gives it direct orders. When people talk about power levels among the Floor Guardians, Shaltier Bloodfallen gets called the strongest Floor Guardian except Strategic Siege Golem Gargantua, which tells you everything you need to know about just how ridiculously overpowered this thing is. It's got higher stats than even Shaltier and Mare, making it the ultimate powerhouse among all the Guardians. Of course, since it can't think for itself, comparing combat effectiveness gets pretty weird, but raw numbers don't lie. During various events throughout the series, it shows up in some pretty memorable moments. Ainz once compared its size to Zytokwai, noting that the treant was actually bigger, which says something considering how massive this golem is. When the Floor Guardians gathered at the Great Forest of Tob, Shaltier made a comment about how rare it was to see them all together, but Mari pointed out that Victim wasn't there, and Shaltier agreed, also mentioning that it wasn't present either, showing how its absence is always notable. The most dramatic appearance happened when Ainz ordered it to intimidate some lizardmen. First, it scared them just by showing up with its absolutely enormous size. Then, it demonstrated its strength by hurling a massive boulder onto the frozen lake's surface. That same boulder became Ainz's makeshift throne while he sat there with almost all the other Floor Guardians, minus Kokitis. After completing this intimidation display, it just vanished, presumably teleporting back to his usual spot in Nazarick. Kokitis. Kokitis is the Floor Guardian of the 5th floor of the Great Tomb of Nazarick, crafted by warrior Take Mikazuchi. He was built to hold encyclopedic knowledge of all the divine weapons made by the 41 supreme beings, though he only saw them in action once Ainz used one in his fight with Shaltier. Like his creator, he's all about pride, honor, and strength. As a warrior, he respects opponents who show fighting spirit and has a habit of claiming their weapons as trophies after defeating them. Sometimes he even preserves their corpses in ice as battle keepsakes. He doesn't discriminate between weak or strong enemies. If they step into the ring, they deserve a clean fight to the death. As a fighter, Kokitis is a powerhouse. With 4 arms and 21 weapons, he's the go-to weapon master of Nazarick. His frost resistance is sky high thanks to his Knight of Niflheim class, and he can use his tail as a backup weapon. His physical strikes are the strongest among the Guardians, and his defense comes built in thanks to a weaponized exoskeleton that doubles as armor. It's fire resistant and regenerates with his HP, but it doesn't reach divine level stats, so it's not invincible. He's got strong resistance to mind-affecting effects, long-range attacks, and enchanted weapons, and his frost aura makes the area around him painfully cold. For combat, he has a wide range of ice and wind-based skills like Frost Breath, Cutting Wind, Ice Pillar, and Aklanatha. He uses AoE slashes, chain combos, demi-human killing techniques, and buffs like self-enhancement. His ultimate skills include Vidyaraja Strike and Akala Sword. Main weapons include the God-slaying Emperor's Blade, the Halberd Decapitation Fang, and a world item from Ainz for protection against other world item users. Since the rise of the Sorcerer Kingdom, he's been managing and training a diverse army made up of undead, demi-humans, and even humans. Kokitis is often called upon for security, military leadership, and intense field operations. When Momonga first calls the Floor Guardians together, Kokitis arrives second only to Shaltier, immediately stepping in to stop any arguments between his fellow Guardians out of respect for their master. He spends his free time training relentlessly, always preparing for deployment, and genuinely appreciates every word of praise from Ainz. The Ice Warrior even gets caught up daydreaming about becoming a cool uncle to Ainz's future heir, showing his softer side beneath that intimidating exterior. During Shaltier's mind control incident, he's tasked with physically restraining Demiierge from interfering in the crucial battle, wielding his weapon to block the demon's path while analyzing Ainz's strategy. His warrior instincts kick in as he questions why Ainz would fight alone instead of using coordinated attacks, but ultimately places complete faith in his master's judgment. After Ainz's victory, Kokitis joins the other Guardians in begging their master never to take such risk again. His first real test comes with the Lizardmen War, where Ainz deliberately assigns him an underwhelming undead army to teach valuable lessons about leadership and strategic thinking. Initially confident that brute force would suffice, Kokitis watches his forces get decimated by the surprisingly capable Lizardmen alliance. The defeat hits him hard, leaving him ashamed and fearful of his master's reaction as he returns to Nazarick expecting punishment or abandonment. Instead, Ainz uses this moment to teach him about truly understanding orders versus blindly following them. When instructed to completely annihilate the lizardmen as punishment, he makes a bold decision that defines his character growth. He refuses and asks for mercy, arguing that these warriors could serve Nazarick better alive than dead. With Demiierge's support, he convinces Ainz to spare the lizardmen and puts him in charge of ruling them, turning his greatest failure into a redemption opportunity. He personally battles the lizardmen heroes, creating ice pillars as boundaries and systematically defeating all challengers, including Zaryusu and Shasuryu, but does so with honor and respect for your warrior spirits. Rather than ruling through fear, he works to build genuine loyalty among his new subjects, even helping establish sustainable food sources through improved fish farming techniques. His dedication to the lizardmen becomes so strong that he later refuses to let Aura take their precious Hydra Rororo, threatening to bring the matter directly to Ainz if necessary. Throughout various crises, he's proved his worth repeatedly, protecting Ainz from Albido's aggressive advances, evaluating combat situations during the Tomb invasion, and providing strategic input during Empire negotiations. When Ainz prepares for the final assault on the Reistized Kingdom, he puts Kokitis in charge of besieging the capital, recognizing his growth from the defeated commander to trusted strategic leader. The Ice Warrior's final major moment comes during his confrontation with Brain Unglass, where his respect for the human warrior's resolve leads him to draw his finest blade, the god-slaying Emperor Blade, for what becomes a brief but honorable duel. After easily defeating Brain with a single strike, he shows proper respect by preserving the warrior's body and taking his katana as a trophy, demonstrating the honor code that separates him from mere monsters. Beyond his combat roles, he serves as Ainz's training partner, helping the Overlord develop better combat instincts and sensing abilities. His journey from a straightforward warrior who relied on overwhelming force to a nuanced leader who understands loyalty, honor, and strategic thinking represents one of Nazarick's greatest success stories. He manages to balance his fierce dedication to Ainz with genuine care for his subordinates, creating a unique leadership style that combines ice-cold efficiency with surprising warmth. This frozen guardian embodies the perfect blend of absolute loyalty and independent thinking that makes him invaluable to Nazarick's continued expansion and success. Aura Bellafiora. Aura Bellafiora is a dark elf and one of the twin floor guardians of the 6th floor in the Great Tomb of Nazarick. She's the older twin of Mare Bellafiore and was created by the guild member Buku Buku Shigama. The twins were intentionally designed to have reversed appearances. Aura looks like a boy, but is a girl, and Mare looks like a girl, but is a boy. As a beast tamer and ranger, she specializes in controlling magical beasts and leading them in battle using guerrilla tactics. Her dominant personality likely comes from her creator's own real-life beliefs about older sisters guiding younger brothers. The two are usually seen together, patrolling their assigned floor. Aura often roams the forests, while Mare is left to manage the amphitheater. If Mare ever needs to leave his post, it's Aura who he informs first. Aura isn't built for solo combat and ranks low among Nazarick's guardians when it comes to one-on-one fights, but what she lacks in raw power, she makes up for in strategy and synergy. Her combat style shines in team settings, especially when she works with Mare or commands her beast. During the siege of the royal capital, she and her pets wiped out defenders with ease. She's deadly to humans, even alone. As a ranger, she moves quick and navigates all types of terrain with ease. Her enhanced hearing allows her to pick up sounds from far away, and her detection skills can see through invisibility spells, though they fall short against perfect concealment. She's also skilled in hiding her own presence, once evading detection even from Narbero. Her taming skills extend to native New World creatures, and her breath-based abilities can buff allies or debuff enemies within several meters, sometimes stretching up to 2 kilometers. Her responsibilities have expanded beyond battle, now including a surveillance network that helps defend the Sorcerer Kingdom's growing territory. Her beast collection includes powerful creatures like Fenrir, a level 78 black wolf, Iris Tyrannus Basilius, a Godzilla-like level 71 monster, and even Hegemon, a frost dragon who submitted to her. Others include a red lion beast, a giant iguana chameleon hybrid, the Kirin, Basilisk, Amphisbaena, and many more, some reaching or surpassing level 80. Through her skills, she can even boost their levels higher. Aura's arsenal includes a longbow named To Your Heart for lightning-fast shots, a whip called Queen used against powerful enemies, and a variety of magical items for communication, stealth, survival, and support, like a ring that sustains vitality, a necklace that lets her coordinate with Mare, and a world item that isolates enemies into another dimension. She wears special combat attire and a stealth cloak to blend into her surroundings during missions. As Floor Guardian, she has consistently been active in Nazarek's operations. When Ainz visited the 6th floor after the server shutdown, she greeted him, participated in his magical experiments, and even sparred with a summoned fire elemental. She and Mari later helped camouflage Nazarek and continued to support Ainz with missions across the Great Forest of Tob. She carried out scouting, beast recruitment, and resource management, including building a fake Nazarek fortress. During the Shaltier mind control incident, she monitored the battle using her Sky Eye skill and disrupted Shaltier's attack at a crucial moment. She stayed committed to Ainz afterwards, even requesting a taming room as a reward for her hard work. She assisted in recruiting members of Eight Fingers, threatened the Emperor Baharuth into submission, and played a role in diplomacy and warfare throughout the region. In military campaigns, she took charge of reconnaissance, patrolling, and strategic development of her beast. She helped protect Ainz with world items during critical moments, and was instrumental in the capital siege of the Riastai's kingdom. There, she led magical beasts to overrun defenses and eliminated targets, including Vesture Cloth de Loffen to retrieve magic items. She'd taken part in slice-of-life moments too, handling patrols, teasing Shaltier and Albido, eating burgers served by a Pistonia, and exploring the role of Juliet in a play. Her bond with Mari is consistent, often advising or teasing him, and the two act as a dependable pair throughout Nazarek's activities. She also participated in the mission to the Dwarf Kingdom, accompanied Ainz and Shaltier on diplomatic trips, and captured a frost dragon, turning it into one of her pets. She supported operations against Quagoa using her world item and worked alongside Shaltier to force their surrender. In their time off, she engaged in lighthearted banter and even shared her fantasy of being praised by Ainz. When tasked with gathering intel in the elf country, she played the role of a traveler, impressed villagers with her hunting skills, and helped set up a presence there. She later joined Ainz and Mare to raid the Elf King's treasury during the chaos of battle, helping infiltrate and secure loot. When confronted by the Elf King, she helped analyze him and later supported Mare as he was sent to pursue the fleeing monarch. By the time the war against the slain theocracy begins, Aura remains a loyal guardian ready to serve Ainz without hesitation. Whether it's combat, logistics, diplomacy, or simple patrols, she's dependable, sharp, and always proactive in any mission she's given. Mare Bellofiore. Mare Bellofiore is a dark elf who serves as one of the twin floor guardians protecting the 6th floor of the Great Tomb of Nazarek. He's the younger twin brother of Aura Bellofiora, and here's where things get interesting. Everyone outside of Nazarek constantly mistakes him for a girl because of his appearance and the feminine clothing he wears. This isn't some random design choice though. His creator, Buku Buku Chubgama, deliberately made him this way as part of a running gag with another guild member, Pero Rochino. But there's more to it than just laughs. Buku Buku Chugama believed that younger brothers should obey their elder sisters, so she programmed this dynamic right into Mare's personality. That's why he's so submissive to Aura, even when they're working together on missions from Ainz. The twins have this whole system worked out, where they always tell each other where they're going since they're supposed to guard the floor together. Mare usually hangs out in the amphitheater, while Aura patrols the forest, and if he needs to leave, he has to report to his sister first. When it comes to raw power, Mare is absolutely terrifying in the best possible way. He's a druid who specializes in support magic and nature manipulation, with stats that are surprisingly balanced between physical and magical abilities. Think of him as the ultimate rear guard. While Aura handles close combat, he's back there casting buffs, debuffs, and making sure nobody dies. His magical strength is so ridiculous that Sebas noted that he could compete with Shaltier for first or second place in terms of raw power. But here's the kicker. While Shaltier is built for one-on-one fights, Mare is designed to absolutely demolish multiple enemies at once. Shaltier herself admits that his area of effect spells are the strongest in all of Nazarek. He can manipulate vegetation to create snares, enhance stealth for himself and allies, and even control the weather on a massive scale. His magic keeps the village on the 6th floor perfectly maintained, and he could create simple stonework, produce rain, and restore soil nutrients. In the Sorcerer Kingdom, his responsibilities expanded to include weather control across territories, building underground tombs, and working with the Adventurers Guild. His spell arsenal includes everything from basic shields to reality-breaking magic like Earthquake, which can level entire cities and underground facilities simultaneously. His Nature Shelter can create bunkers that can withstand super-tier magic, and his Petted Catastrophe unleashes energy that surpasses even super-tier spells. Mari's journey as a floor guardian really kicks off when Momonga visits the 6th floor and he's too scared to immediately show himself, earning a scolding from Aura. After some encouragement from Ainz, he reluctantly joins the battle against a summoned primal fire elemental, where support magic proves invaluable in keeping Aura alive during the fight. His first major assignment comes when Ainz decides to camouflage Nazarick, and Mari suggests covering the walls with mud and plants, a brilliant idea that lands him the job of creating dummy hills around the tomb. This work impresses Ainz so much that Mari becomes the first NPC to receive a Ring of Ainz Ongon. During the Shaltier incident, he and Aura are positioned to monitor the battle from afar, while equipped with legendary items ready to retreat if the mind control enemies appear. His role becomes more sinister during the invasion of the Great Forest of Tob, where he uses his magic to prevent anyone from escaping or systematically hunting down and killing members of Krauga, including crushing Igvarge's skull with his staff. The Eight Fingers operation showcases his infiltration skills as he partners with Entoma to raid Hilma's mansion, covering the building with vines and breaking Hilma's legs when she tries to escape through an underground passage. His earthquake magic provides cover for the fake battles between Yaldabaoth and Mammon, adding realistic environmental effects to their performance. When workers invade Nazarick, he escorts prisoners to Gasho Kukochuo for disposal, then serves as an envoy to Baharuth Empire alongside Aura, riding dragons and demonstrating their power by killing humans in the Imperial Palace courtyard. During the Katsi Plains massacre, he stands at Ainz's side as his attendant, applauding the summoning of Dark Youngs while maintaining vigilance. His responsibilities expand further when he's tasked with building an underground tomb near Rantel, and temporarily taking over Shaltier's duties when she accompanies Ainz to the Dwarf Kingdom. The war against the Reastised Kingdom becomes Mari's moment to truly shine as a destroyer. He's given the specific task of obliterating cities and killing every inhabitant within them. Initially ashamed of his poor performance on his first town, Ainz's encouragement motivates him to perfect his techniques. He practices destroying multiple cities with Ainz, learning the complexities of urban demolition and mass murder. By the time they reach the capital, he has developed an efficient system, positioning himself on the second highest tower of Relente Castle and repeatedly casting Earthquake to systematically reduce the entire city to rubble while ensuring maximum casualties. His encounter with Climb during this destruction shows his polite nature even while committing genocide, as he kindly warns the warrior to leave before continuing his work. After the war, he accompanies Ainz and Aura to the Elf country, where he initially hopes the elven slaves on their floor will be taken away since their pampering annoys him. During their infiltration of Dark Elf society, he reluctantly wears masculine clothing for better camouflage, though he reasons that Buku Buku Chigama would approve since it's for a mission. This mission involves gathering intelligence while pretending to be a normal Dark Elf children, which proves challenging since neither twins understand how to act their apparent age. Their infiltration of the Elven capital during the Theocracy siege demonstrates his tactical value as he leads the team through the forest terrain while wearing his creator's dress armor. The confrontation with the Elf King reveals his combat readiness as he prepares to fight alongside Aura, though Ainz handles the battle personally. His pursuit of the fleeing Earth King leads to an unexpected encounter with a mysterious woman who killed the king first, resulting in a fierce battle where he proves his individual combat skills by defeating someone capable of using death-type skills, normally exclusive to high-level undead. This discovery connects back to Shaltier's brainwashing incident, as the captured woman is revealed to be from the Theocracy, finally providing Nazarick with concrete evidence of who was responsible for the mind control attack. Demiierge. Demiierge is the 7th floor guardian of the Great Tomb of Nazarick and commands the tomb's defenses. Created by Ober Elaine Adler, he serves as the deputy leader of all floor guardians. Outside Nazarick, Demiierge plays a double role under the name Yaldabaoth, manipulating the world with calculated schemes, establishing deep political networks, and leading major military operations. He's the mastermind behind major events like the demonic disturbance in the Reastised Kingdom and the Holy Kingdom invasion. These operations weren't random rampages. They were carefully planned campaigns meant to expand Nazarick's reach without exposing it. As Yaldabaoth, he manipulated entire nations, deceived major political figures, and used psychological warfare to control nobles, military leaders, and even royalty. One of his more disturbing projects includes managing a ranch where he conducts brutal experiments using captured civilians, labeled Abelian sheep. His experiments push ethical boundaries, all under the pretense of developing new magical techniques and tools. He also crafted furniture out of a victim's remains, blending cruelty with a twisted form of craftsmanship. Behind his horrifying methods is a constant ambition to impress Ainz. his supreme leader, and prove his value to Nazarick. On a larger scale, Demiierge is Nazarick's go-to for subterfuge, espionage, and black operations. He has contacts in key positions across nations and orchestrates coups, assassinations, and infiltrations to keep Nazarick one step ahead. From replacing political figures with doppelgangers to setting up puppet governments, he's always laying the groundwork for Nazarick's next big move. With each action, he furthers Nazarick's interests while keeping his involvement under wraps, making him one of the most dangerous minds in Ainz's inner circle. Demiierge isn't built to be a frontline powerhouse like Kokitis or a top-tier caster like Mare, but his versatility makes up for it. He's physically stronger than most of the New World's warriors, capable of matching the speed of elite fighters, and his trickster-style combat makes him hard to read. He only has a couple of 10th tier spells, but what he lacks in casting, he makes up for in tactical diversity. His real strength lies in his massive arsenal of skills and passive abilities. The aspect of the Devil series lets him transform his body for battle, growing massive claws, wings, or limbs that give him an edge in specific situations. His command mantra can instantly manipulate weak-minded targets, while Dimensional Luck shuts down teleportation to trap enemies in place. He can summon powerful demons, like the Evil Lords representing a deadly sin. One of his deadliest items is Armageddon Evil, which unleashes an army of demons. On top of his combat versatility, he's a strategic genius. He manages Nazarick's internal security, political operations, and even espionage. His intelligence network is top tier, and after the formation of the Sorcerer Kingdom, he began running an entire intelligence agency from the 7th floor. Even without top-level magic, Demiurge's skills and cunning make him a lethal asset and a key player in Nazarick's plan for global domination. As a floor guardian, Demiierge takes on key operations directly under Ainz's orders and often takes the lead when subtlety is needed. Demiurge's presence across the Overlord story is all about strategy, deception, and pushing Nazarick's influence while keeping its true role hidden. Early on, he's tasked by Ainz to work with Albido on a better defense system for Nazarick, leaving the 8th floor out of the equation. His loyalty is absolute, often praising Ainz's wisdom and showing concern for his health and well-being. Demiurge keeps the 7th floor secure, manages NPC coordination, and helps set up internal systems like vacation policies and intelligence handling. Though always composed, he's not above getting frustrated when Ainz acts recklessly, like during the Shaltier incident where Demiurges insist they should have protected their master rather than let him fight solo. Despite his panic, he ends up admiring Ainz's brilliant battle plan after witnessing it unfold. Behind the scenes, Demiurge handles some of the most important Black Ops. He masterminds Operation Gehenna, organizing a large-scale assault on the Riastai's kingdom under his Demon King alias Yaldabaoth. The entire operation is carefully staged to boost the fame of Momon, Eyes in Disguise, while allowing Nazarick to plunder resources and abduct humans for experimentation. He manages troop deployment, logistics, and even information control. After the capital attack, he works to spread misinformation, ensuring no one ties the chaos back to Nazarick. His manipulation isn't limited to battles. He gets directly involved in politics, orchestrating assassinations and puppet replacements, like the case of Prince Caspon in the Holy Kingdom. Using the fake prince, he seizes control of the kingdom's direction, initiating war against humanity and staging a brutal attack led by enslaved demi-human tribes. Though he pretends to be on the front lines as Yaldabaoth, he swaps out with Evil Lord Wrath mid-battle to keep his identity hidden. Even then, he directs every move behind the curtain, sparing specific individuals and staging events to stir public sentiment in Nazarick's favor. Within Nazarick, he leads research, including twisted experiments in his breeding ranch, where he performs interspecies trials and magical testing. These are gruesome operations carried out with cold efficiency, always meant to develop tools and other resources for Nazarick. He frequently updates Ainz on his progress and even prepares gifts, like a throne made from bones as tribute. Demiierge also advises Kokitis during the Lizardman's subjugation, helping him interpret Ainz's goals correctly and guiding him to suggest sparing the tribe as part of a government experiment. Later, he works on building Nazarick's myth and legacy, writing narratives that portray Ainz as a savior from ancient evil. He supports propaganda efforts to support Nazarick's reputation and frames his military actions as benevolent or justified. He proposes the Sorcerer Kingdom structure, manages vassal states like the Baharuth Empire, and recommends installing doppelgangers in key places to expand influences quietly. He pushes for calculated displays of force to intimidate opposition while sparing key figures to keep leverage during future negotiations. Even during Ainz's vacation to the Elf Country, his work doesn't stop. He supervises global operations, tracks enemy threats like Riku Aganea, and continues managing Nazarek's intel network. He's instrumental in managing grain trade, population control through puppets like Doppel Caspan, and manipulating public opinion in the Holy Kingdom through figures like Nea Baraja. He ensures the narrative around Ayn stays heroic, all while tightening Nazarek's grip on the world behind closed doors. Victim. Victim is the floor guardian of the 8th floor in the Great Tomb of Nazarek. He looks like a bright pink fetus, about a meter long, with a glowing halo above his head and skinny featherless wings sticking out of his back. He doesn't even have a neck, so to look around he has to rotate his entire body like some kind of floating security camera. As one of the creations of the Supreme Beings, he's completely loyal to them, willing to throw away his life if that's what they command. And that's not just for show. Back when Nazarek was under siege by an army of 1,500 players and NPCs that made it all the way past the 7th floor, he played a key role in stopping the invasion. He's sometimes described as the overseer of the 8th floor, but he's not really part of its heavy-hitting defense squad. He isn't particularly strong in combat, and he's not there to brawl. His main purpose is his death-triggered ability. When he dies, he unleashes a powerful area of effect skill that traps enemies, making him a tactical sacrifice unit. Since NPCs in Nazarek can be revived with no penalties if the right price is paid, this setup is pretty efficient. Among all the floor guardians, he's considered the weakest in terms of raw strength, but that doesn't make him any less valuable. When Ainz calls for a meeting, Victim shows up on his way to the throne room and bumps into the other floor guardians. Demiierge introduces him formally, but Victim politely asks to skip the intros for now. They all head to the meeting together, and Ainz greets him personally and even apologizes in advance, saying they might need to kill him one day to use the skill in a real emergency. Victim doesn't mind at all. In fact, he's completely fine with the idea. As far as he's concerned, dying for Nazarek in the Supreme Beings is what he was made for. He's there again when Ainz expresses disappointment in Kokitis' failure to wipe out the Lizardmen. After hearing Kokitis' plan for redemption, Ainz agrees and assigns Victim to guard the 1st floor while the others head off to the Great Lake. Later on, Victim also joins Ainz, Demiierge, and Kokitis when they investigate Sebas for possibly betraying Nazarek. After the situation gets resolved, Ainz asks for his thoughts on whether Tara should be allowed into Nazarek. Victim doesn't object. He then returns to Nazarek with Ainz after everything is settled. Even though he doesn't get much screen time, Victim is always respectful and well-mannered with his fellow guardians. He speaks Enochian, the language of angels. It sounds like gibberish to most, but thanks to some kind of built-in magic, Ainz and the other NPCs still understand what he means. He's calm, humble, and never puts himself above others. To him, being a living sacrifice isn't sad or tragic. It's just a job. He exists to serve Nazarek and the ones who created him, and he embraces that purpose completely. Albido. Albido is the guardian overseer of the Great Tomb of Nazarek, the highest ranked NPC in the hierarchy. She supervises all floor guardians and keeps track of their movements at all times. Created by Tabula Smaragdina, she's the middle sister of Negredo and Rubido. Originally programmed with a rather questionable personality trait, her settings were changed by Momonga moments before Idrisil's shutdown, making her obsessively in love with him. As a demoness, she exudes grace, authority, and an unnerving kind of elegance. She's smart, strong, and easily the most capable administrator in Nazarek, though not the best in pure intelligence or combat. She's also got a knack for housework and cleanliness, though her own collections are a total mess. Her obsession with order might be more about image than reality. Her calm smile is constant, but it's just a facade, hiding a cruel streak reserved for Nazarek's enemies. Albido is ruthless to intruders, but gentle and loyal to her comrades. Her composed exterior masks a twisted mind that delights in domination, torture, and chaos, so long as it's for Nazarek's benefit. Her dedication to her role is unwavering, and she takes pride in executing her responsibilities flawlessly. She's the tankiest NPC in Nazarek. When equipped with Hermes Trismegistus, her signature full-body armor, she becomes a walking fortress. She has a skill that lets her redirect damage to her armor instead of her body, strong enough to survive even super-tier magic, though it can only be used 3 times per day. Once the armor layers are depleted, her defense drops sharply, but she can partially recover by merging armor remnants into her body into her true form. Physically, she's powerful. Her strikes can destroy entire fortresses and toss heavily armored enemies like ragdolls. She uses a halberd that can reflect bullets back at her enemies. Her keen hearing helps her track sounds, and though she lacks precision due to having no ranger or rogue levels, her intelligence makes her one of Nazarek's top strategists. She runs Nazarek's internal affairs, manages its defense systems, and monitors all vassals across the floors. She's not great at diplomacy compared to Ainz or Demiierge, but she's the only one capable of managing the entire Guardian network. She can access Nazarek's administrative systems, activate security networks, and deploy countermeasures like magical traps. Her abilities also include several support and offensive skills, such as countering projectiles, summoning mounts, teleporting allies, applying AoE debuffs, and boosting ally skills in combat. She commands great respect from all other NPCs and is trusted to take charge whenever Ainz is away. Her story in the New World kicks off the moment Nazarek is transported, with her being the first NPC to speak. Right away, she starts acting like the perfect subordinate, professional, loyal, and completely devoted to Ainz. After the shutdown of Yggdrasil, she helps organize the Floor Guardian Assembly at the amphitheater, leading the Pledge of Loyalty on behalf of everyone and delivering a passionate, almost embarrassing declaration of love for Ainz. She's later put in charge of refining Nazarek's internal administration alongside Demiierge, a job she takes seriously as she begins crafting how Nazarek will operate from here on out. She quickly gains Ainz's trust and receives the Ring of Ainz Ongon, giving her full access to teleport across Nazarek. As the person in charge of Nazarek's defenses, she's the one coordinating floor security, deploying traps, assigning vassals, and making sure everything runs smoothly, even when Ainz is away. She takes that responsibility seriously, and often becomes the voice of caution or action during potential threats. From the Shaltier incident to Carne Village, she's involved in high-level decisions and plays a key support role. She also begins investigating materials and methods to replace Yggdrasil's resources, managing magic scroll production, and adapting Nazarek's economy to the New World. As Nazarek transforms into the Sorcerer Kingdom, her role shifts into full-blown political management. She becomes the Prime Minister, works on drafting laws, and trains undead civil servants to run public operations. She even starts international diplomacy, visiting the Reistai's kingdom, and begins building Nazarek's image as a rising power. When Shaltier's mind control becomes known, she leads the response, suggesting tactical moves and preparing countermeasures. She also sets up security systems to monitor for more infiltration attempts. Whenever Ainz goes off on solo missions, she's left in charge. She micromanages everything, from military logistics to troop formations and defense network upgrades. She coordinates intelligence gathering, keeps tabs on possible enemy threats, and even develops secret squads to track other supreme beings. Her role gets more intense during the invasion of Reistai's. She organizes troop deployments, manipulates nobles, and secures enemy cities through both fear and diplomacy. Her decisions directly affect the outcome of battles, and she's trusted with leading response to threats like Azuth and Riku Aganea. During the war, she doesn't just command from behind the scenes. She joins the battlefield to fight alongside Ainz and protect him from harm. She also becomes a key figure in information warfare. She pushes for cover-up stories to protect Nazarek's secrets and crafts narratives to manipulate public opinion. Internally, she's constantly dealing with the other Guardians, managing power balances and preventing conflicts, especially between herself and Shaltier. Her obsession with Ainz sometimes bubbles over, but she never lets it interfere with her duties. She coordinates everything from theater plays to national expansions with the same deadly seriousness. Eventually, she helps plan the retaliation against the theocracy once it's revealed they were behind Shaltier's brainwashing. She halts all field operations, shifts Nazarek's military into high alert, and starts laying the groundwork for war. Her last major contributions include solidifying Nazarek's rule after conquering Reistai's, integrating Brenner into the fold, and tightening control over occupied lands. Through it all, she remains the pillar holding Nazarek together, behind the scenes, always managing, always watching, and always putting Ainz's vision above everything else.